strategy that you design here at the CoEcosystem is involved only in the consulting part of the business, or is it also involved in the implementation? Is CoEcosystem involved with the client in the implementation of those operations and see if it actually succeeds, leads to something, leads to a change, or does it just stop at the consulting sessions?
We actually, very good point. Again, thanks for asking all these great questions. I hate to believe that I'm a consultant, but because the industry doesn't have any category for me, I should introduce myself as a consultant. We are doers more than consultants. Yeah, it is flashy, but also it has some negative connotations because consultants come, give you advice, disappear, and it's up to you whether. And if you fail, they say, "I gave you good advice, you didn't implement it right." Now we are exactly the opposite. So how we generally work with clients, and I should also admit, most of our clients are established businesses. We are more active there. So again, I've often been asked this question of who is your ideal client. My ideal client is a business with $100 million plus revenue per annum. That's my ideal client. But I can also serve the smaller one. Why they are my ideal client? Because basically I have the lever. If I fix something small and improve it by 2%, it equates to tens of millions of dollars rather than to tens of thousands of dollars, right? But how we work with our clients is we break down their problem, whatever it is, into the chunks that we can deliver and turn into results. You start with us, we do it all for you as if we are an in-house employee. But instead of hiring an employee, you're hiring a team that comes embedded in your business, fix everything that we can fix within those 3 months. We start getting the return on investment. Then we finish, we stage it. Then we can move on actually to the second scope and solve another aspect of that problem and another aspect of that problem. But we implement. Again, as I said, you get your ROI, I get paid. You don't get your ROI, my advice is good for myself. You know what I mean? So no, we are doers, definitely.
And in terms of implementing with the client, say the strategy does not quite work with them. What is your solution there? What happens there? Do you revise the strategy, or how do you manage that?
Fantastic question again. So, two things there. It works most of the time because we don't rush it. And again, we don't only have one tool. We break down the problem to its components. Let's assume that we go there, and generally speaking, broadly, there are two levers that you are either having a growth problem, you can't bring enough money into the business, or you have efficiency problem, you leak too much money with the money that you're bringing. Then we break that down and say, okay, is it business operations? Is it marketing? Is it sales? Is it people motivation and basically team cohesiveness? Is it the customer experience? What is or what are the contributors to that bigger problem? We break it down and say, okay, for the marketing, let's go back to our scientific toolbox. So for example, do you have an advertising problem? Do you have a marketing communications problem? Do you have anything else? Then for your paradigm, or for your problem, bring the right solution, test and validate it at the desktop level to see whether, theoretically it should work, design an experiment and get it in a smaller scale to the market to see whether it works or not. Where the data comes in, then we expand. So generally speaking, when we get to the end of the 3 months, everything's been verified and validated, so it should work. However, business is real world, and real world is not perfect, so there are always things that can go wrong. The good thing about what we do is we know which of these small Lego pieces didn't work, so we change that Lego piece with another Lego piece to build the whole puzzle, if you know what I mean. And then yes, of course, we adjust, we change. If we need to, I would say it is less than 20% of the time that we need to move pieces, because again, we verify and validate before we go to the implementation and waste your money. But if that happens, then we know actually the piece didn't work. Was it the engine or was it the wheel? And then we change the wheel, bring a new wheel, hopefully, or not hopefully, it will work.
Yeah. Great. And last question. If you had to choose of all the industries that you've been working with, which is your favorite to work with? Which do you say that your strategy could actually make the change that they're after? If you had to choose one.
So by background, by educational background, my research is in entrepreneurship and innovation. So actually I have startups and entrepreneurs are very close to my heart, because now it is almost 10 years that I study them as a subject of research. Now, And the problems that they are facing are very similar, and the human psychology plays a big role in their success or failure. So we are dealing with a bunch of people that are massively underconfident or overconfident. Unfortunately, there is nothing in between. You have all those psychological traits, and you have all that. Again, this is because this is my background. I mean, my research background. I know ins and outs of it, and I know how they can become successful. The problem with the startups and the small businesses is the market is full of, excuse my language, rubbish advice. It's saturated by people that don't have any idea whatsoever. They might be very successful business people, but something that works for you doesn't work for everyone else. We actually have an academic paper, AGRES 2015, I'm citing now, which says one of the reasons that re-entry into a business market fails by an entrepreneur is because they change industries. And when they change industries, all the learning is out of the window. Business environment is dynamic. It doesn't matter what you learn there, you need to be able to apply that into the new context. And if you can, and if you're overconfident and you fail to apply it in the new context, you fail. Now, so, sorry, back to your question. I love to work with the small business startups. But they are my smallest customer base. Why? Because I can't convince people that you have a problem. I can only help you if you know that you have a problem. I mean, just put it into perspective as a doctor. If a patient comes and says, I have heartburn, or I have chest pain, then the doctor can help. But the doctors can't go and actually tap on everyone's shoulder in the street and say, hey, you seem like that you have some heart problems. Can I help you? And they say, no, get out of here. I don't have any problems. So the problem, why they are the smallest customer base, is because only few of them know that they have a problem. And when they do know that they have a problem, then we can help them. But again, our job is not to convince people.
Great. So they need to acknowledge that first and take responsibility, and then they can ask for your help, right?
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much, Nikat, for telling us about what you do at CoEcosystem and how you help entrepreneurs, business owners improve their business. I love meeting you. And this is the Franchising Expo. Stay tuned for more.